Hello, friends, and welcome to Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh. And today on episode 333, we are going to feature a house over in Preston Hollow at 6831 Northport Drive. It is amazing, and it has so much to offer.
And in our second segment today, we're going to have a little discussion about what's going on with City Hall. Are we going to tear it down? Are we going to not?
There's a lot of discussion.
Lots come out in the last few days about it.
It is very interesting. So one of the things we're going to do real quick is we're going to jump over and talk a little bit about the market watch. And we would like to actually talk about the zip code in which the house is in. And so this is in zip code 75230. And this is actually, as you see here on the map, you're going to get the feel for this. This is actually looking at North Toll Road all the way over to 75. That's Walnut on the very southern portion in 635. This is an interesting little zip code because it does go to DISD and also Richardson.
Yeah, it's about 7 square miles, and it houses some of the most expensive real estate in Dallas. Highland Park's got a little bit more expensive, but in the city of Dallas, it's really expensive in 230.
But what's also interesting is that there's a lot of condos that run down the side of 75, but then also in Bodecker, you've got that whole string of duplexes that over there are done really well as well. So this is a very affluent Preston Hollow neighborhood. Looks like the average price for a home that's closed in March was $1,050,000. That's pretty high, but what's even more interesting is that that's actually down 15% versus March of last year, which is amazing.
The reason for that is that not necessarily the prices are falling in that neighborhood, but there were some really expensive houses that closed last year, in March of last year, that drug that way up last year.
There's a lot of lock and leaves. This is also the area where we've got 2 different towers, Athena, Preston Center. These are really great for like final downsizing, I guess is how I would say it. But overall, this has larger lots and then like a few components of the condos along 75.
And it's really a financially very secure zip code to live in because prices don't fluctuate a great deal, even in the really down times of like 8, 9, and 10. They didn't fluctuate very far south, although they have paced with the market in terms of going up over like they have over the last 5 to 7 years.
The other thing too to take into consideration when you're looking at the health of a marketplace is also the velocity of absorption. And we're looking at about 55 days right now. That's an average that we're seeing across Dallas. Again, this is very specific though. If it's a really great property, they are trading quicker. One of the things that we did notice in the research is that actually in the 1.3 to 1.7 price point, 3 of those homes actually went for over list value.
And there is some negotiation room there. Most of the homes in there have sold at about 97% of list price. So you're not having to pay list price on everything, although there are those deals. You will see a little bit of a discount sometimes.
We're also talking about trends that we're seeing in this. And one of the trends, did you just grumble? One of the trends is all the tear downs that we're seeing. So you get a lot of perfectly good ranch homes that could either be move-in ready or need a slight facelift. But because of the size of the lots, the land is so valuable, and Dallas has the need for new that a lot of times we're seeing scrapes, even when it's very unfortunate.
And this is really, that whole zip code is characterized as a stable or a balanced market because you've got anywhere from 4.5 to 6 months of inventory there based on the sales over the last year. So if nothing new came on the market starting today, it would take about 4.5 to 6 months for everything in there to sell the way it has been.
We're also going to look at the frequency of price drops, and so we're roughly saying that 20% of the homes brought onto the market are going to have a price reduction, which I don't think that's out of the norm because I still feel like in this zip code, because of what the new construction is and it looks like, I feel like they really stretch that top tier price, and therefore that stretch is something that we see other sellers feel like they're entitled to the same stretch.
True.
And so we'll see that kind of adjust back down. So again, it's a healthy market. I would say it's still moving quite quite quickly. We went on tour this week and we looked at one in Glen Lakes, and it had been on the market, what, 3 days?
3 days, I think, yeah.
3 days, he had 10 showings and 1 offer already. So again, real estate is like the weather. It could be raining on your head and sunny on mine. It really just depends on where you are and what the product is.
So let's talk about our house.
Tell me more about this house, Jeff.
So this is a really, really cool property, 6831 Northport Drive. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3 living area, 2-car garage. It is on a little over a third of an acre, and it is perfectly located just south of the corner of Hillcrest and Royal.
I would say this is really similar to where you live. This location, the way it's easy to get around. This one's probably a little easier heading north because you've got 75, but you're so close to Walnut Hill that gives you great access going east and west. I'm always going to be concerned about grocery stores. Central Market's just around the corner from me, as is Tom Thumb. So that's always great. Shopping wise, North Park heads south. You're in downtown, what would you say, 17 minutes on a high traffic day?
Yeah, on a high traffic day, probably.
And when you zoom out, you can see the proximity to both Dallas Love Field, but then also into DFW. If you're not from this area, these are both very important factors and have really added to the economic growth here in Dallas, both for international and for local travel.
And you have express lanes on 635 all the way from Hillcrest all the way out to DFW Airport. So that's a very, very fast trip if you want to do it on the expressway.
And actually, when I take 183, I take the express all the way to Fort Worth, and that eliminates all mid-city traffic. So yeah, great area. What do locals love? This is really important to me because I feel like one of the ways to really talk about a neighborhood and get to know it is talking about what the locals love. And one of the things that has really popped up is Bobby's Airway Grill. And this came out of a brand new concept. The shopping center existed. It's one of the go-to shopping centers in the area. Prince Italiana is also in here, but this is a great restaurant. I haven't been yet. You have.
I have, yeah. We went there one night for we had a celebration dinner that we went. It was good. It was the service was fantastic. The finish out in the restaurant was well done. The service, the food service was really good. It is definitely on the higher end expense wise. Not horrible though.
It's $4 signs.
Yeah, $4 signs.
Because it's funny. With the other night we were going somewhere, and Jason goes, "I just want to go get that crab cake." And I was like, "Okay, well, just get it to go." But anyway, great food here. One of the other things, let's kind of pivot now. We'll talk about the happy hour at Thirsty Lion. I'm bringing this up because this is a belated St. Patty's Day reference. I know I'm a couple days off, but so be it. Great little spot. This is in a super easy location. One of the things, in addition to this area where the Thirsty Lion is that you also have Trader Joe's. Easy way to pick up dinner if you're heading home.
It really is, and I like that you know, you talked about Bobby's Airway Grill, which is right at Preston Royal. You have so many choices of not just restaurants, but everything at Preston Royal. You've got the quick eatsies, you got all that, and then you come down to this, which is at Walnut Hill and Central, and you have almost the same number of options.
Correct.
And it's from expensive restaurant down to the walk-in hamburger place down there.
And just to kind of point out, like, this is right behind Thirsty Lion is where Rosewood built all of those zero lot lines that started at 1.3 million, and they sold them all out in like a year.
Yeah.
Great area to buy in.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that is just like for the neighborhood, and this is Thackeray Street. Thackeray Street is simply a street to walk up and down to, and it connects you to one of the parks inside of Preston Hollow. It is where you will see your neighbors.
Yeah.
They are out there walking all the time. People talk about Austin.
Yeah.
People love to walk in Austin. Thackeray Street is where they are headed up and down. Lots of trees. It is a slow traffic pace because of the stop signs, so it doesn't turn into a through traffic speedway. And it does deliver you into the park.
Yep.
So you'll see your neighbors, and you should enjoy.
So it's a really great location, great neighborhood. So let's talk about the house.
Give it to me. Roll tape.
So this house, 6831 Northport Drive, has such an interesting drive up. You don't see it in this photo, but you've got additional parking in the front with a little hammerhead turnaround. So you could have probably 4 cars in the back, 2 in the garage, 2 on the in the back and then 2 up front if you needed to, and you won't have any street parking at all.
And I also want to point out that this house is turnkey ready, and whoever the interior designer was knocked it out. This is the office, and as you can see, it's really well done because of the size of the windows, the number of the windows. You can go dark. You can go dark with paint. You can go dark with a wall covering, and it all works out really good. It was dead on. And on the opposite side, because this is a ranch, we get our formal. But what they have done is, I don't know if this is original or not, but this is one of 2 fireplaces. And I love that they're focal. They've created 2 really smart seating areas. This one is more, how should you say, cozy?
I would say this is probably your cocktail lounge.
I like the whole feel of the house. Again, I like the deeper colors. I'm less of a pastel kind of a guy, and this just worked for me. This kitchen, Jeff, is the dead center of the house. You get anywhere from it. I always like the term heart of the house. Kitchen is the heart of the house. This one literally is it. Double ovens, gas grill, working chef board, kitchen island, looks into the family room, looks into the backyard, opens up to the backyard, pitches back over to the dining room. What else do you need, Jeff?
It's the heart of the house.
It is the heart of the house. I loved it.
Windows have been replaced in this home. That it has really great lighting. You can see the bar seating here, and then the formal dining area that I think was a very well used, very well located room.
I like the way that this photo actually shows you the way that the fireplace from that room also works with the dining room. Because for me, even if you're having dinner and you're not seated there, I would turn the fireplace on. I just think that fireplace kind of adds to that ambiance of the whole thing.
I would agree.
I like that you have that kitchen island arm that sticks out. I think that's a great place to set up. But it also works really good because everyone lands in the kitchen when you're having a party, but this one allows the party to spill over into this excellent family room that really lacks for nothing. Great natural light, canned lights as well, and then you have a really good focal point.
Yeah, this is the second fireplace, and you look out on a small deck on the back, so you've got a lot of outdoor space that's really flex here. If we were to turn around and look at the other side, you'll see the putting green.
Yeah.
Just out the other. This is the master bedroom, and this room is huge.
Because those side tables right there, they are 5 feet. They are not your 4 foot. Those are enormous. You come into a really clean, streamlined master bathroom, which I loved that they've done the 4-inch lip around on the countertops. I just love that look.
It really does just make it feel like a fancy hotel.
Exactly. And then, so this is a really interesting scene. This is a little bit of a smaller room. This is against the master. And I like that it was set right here because for me, it's either as it is here, or it's a nursery, or it's a secondary office. I think that versatility of this one room, I thought it was a great extra for this.
And back on beyond that second living area, the family room we talked about, you have this additional family room that they use both as a movie theater and as a game room. It's large enough to have all of that seating for watching movies. You've still got room for all of your workout equipment off in another little side room. You've got the little drink bar right there. But this room's got a lot of flexibility to it. This is that outdoor patio that I was talking about that is right off of the dining room.
And it does wrap around. I like that it doesn't have a poured cement. I love a brick laid better. And this is it when we open out of that guest room and walk out. I love the size of this, and there's just enough grass, not too much. It is a very easy, low key, but it's a cabana. I think it really double works as a cabana. And here's where you have happy hour. This is happy hour on the greens for me. I don't play golf.
I don't either.
I would totally do that. And I like that
I can see some of my friends doing that.
Oh yeah, I like that it's turf grass too. So if it's not something that you need, it's really a great place though for your pets too.
So this is 6831 Northport Drive. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage built in 1952. It's about 3,800 square feet, and it is listed at $1,675,000.
This is a great home, and so what we like to also do is put the link in the comments so that you can click on it. We did not use all of the pictures for time's sake. There's also a floor plan that kind of allows you to see how this fits. We also want to say thank you so much to Esther Foray for allowing us to feature this home. It is really a magical little place over there.
Yes.
Good house. Good house. Jeff, tell me what we're talking about next.
So, our second segment today is we are going to talk or discuss our feelings on whether the city of Dallas should tear down City Hall or not.
This is a feeling section?
It is.
I did not know we were going to go there.
I've got a little data, but then I think, well, we really have kind of similar feelings on it.
And I think that this is, and when we were talking with Zach, who's producing this, and talked to him about this is going to be the second segment, he said that's what a lot of people are talking about right now. And I think, I don't want to say it's scandalous, but it sure doesn't feel...
Getting that way.
It is. And I think that there's some really unfortunate things that are running, and dare I say it, that are running similar to what the Epstein file is. Because when you talk about an email dump, it just harkens to nefarious transactions. Something is not, something stinks in Denmark. And I think what we're learning more and more is that this has been going on for quite some time.
So if you're not from Dallas, Dallas is a really iconic piece of architecture. It is a brutalist piece that was built by I.M. Pei, or designed by I.M. Pei. It was built in 1978, and it was built at a time when the vision for Dallas was to have this government complex with a lot of just a lot of different things happening around it. They really did it in a section of Dallas that was like small manufacturing facilities. The rail lines ran through there, and it's taken a long time for that area around to really backfill is a good way to do it. We've always had a very vibrant downtown through our high-rise corridors.
The Arts District,
yes,
the Central Business District.
But coming back on this side of downtown, the southern side of downtown, they really, their idea was to put this down there, give it a really iconic piece of history, and let that be the jumping off point for this section of downtown.
And it is caught on because it's now like the backdrop for the big Cinco de Mayo parade, and then there's also an Asian Lunar Year celebration.
Turkey Trot starts right there.
So there's a lot, and it has developed. And I think that I think there's a 1-2 punch that's also happening. I think that downtown Dallas is on the precipice of sliding one way or the other. And I think that what we're talking about is the fact that you've got both the Dallas Stars and the Dallas Mavs that have announced that they're leaving. And that there's AT&T that has said, we're leaving.
We're leaving downtown. Yeah.
And then you just recently hear that WFAA is struggling because of a situation that they have with their parking lot. And did they stay? And so there seems to be this flux. You know, we've even talked to some of our clients because they visit with us about values of their condos and whatnot. And it's a lot of uncertainty now, and that's a tough thing around real estate.
It really is. To kind of put a little bit of a timeline in perspective in the start of this, it was really February of 2025. The first part of 2025 was when some of these emails indicated that the CEO of AT&T was really beginning to become concerned about the future of downtown and whether downtown Dallas really had any governance in it.
That comment alone about the governance really is like, it is like who's behind the scenes running it, because it feels like that's what we're talking about right now. You know, the Dallas, Mark Cuban doesn't own the Dallas Mavs any longer. You know, it's Miriam Edelson who owns it, who owns the Sands. And now we see her in the news a lot, and you're like, but you're not a Dallas resident really, you know? And you're about to come in here and make these changes for us? It just feels like that term billionaire class is making moves on us. And
you know, the fact that the Stars have already said we know where we're going in Plano. They've already openly said they were going to Plano. The Mavs are now saying, well, we're looking at 2 sites. One's downtown that is unnamed, and then the other one's where Valley View Mall is. is really I think the right place for them to go. It's
Hands down.
Midtown. It's a big enough place that they can develop whatever they want around it.
And not have to tear down. The other thing too that I think when I think about this is we're talking about this is a building that Dallas owns, and we're talking about having to relocate and have a reoccurring expense on a rental. That doesn't make sense. I know that the land will be sold, but you're still going to have an expense. I don't know.
Yeah, that part doesn't seem to make sense to me either. Really in April of 2025 is when these emails show that City Manager Kim Tolbert was starting to meet with not only executives from the Sands Corporation, she was meeting with real estate companies and real estate executives, and she brought Stream Realty into this without really doing a contract with them. She just brought them in and said, "Hey, could you analyze a bunch of what would be a good use for downtown, or would this make sense?" And so, according to Stream Realty, they dropped everything they were doing because it's the city of Dallas. This would be a really great opportunity.
Yep.
They rolled in their report, and basically the city took their report and said, "Okay, thank you."
Didn't like what it said.
Well, they took pieces and parts out of their report and put it into the city's analysis of what's going on.
So it was an out of context report, the way that
And then in August of 25, the mayor came up with what do they call it? He directed the finance committee to evaluate whether City Hall should stay or go, and he appointed Chad West as the chairman of that committee,
who is also pro.
Yeah.
Which I think is again, elected officials. Are you doing the best that you can for Dallas residents, or are you doing those that raise and donate the most money to your reelection campaign funds?
October of 2025 is when they brought CBRE in and actually did a contract with CBRE to come in and analyze, create the report on the building itself, and then also begin to show them other options. And here's one of the tricky parts that really makes me uncomfortable is they handpicked the council people that got to go on the tours to look at these up to 15 properties that might be where City Hall would move as a tenant.
So they didn't take everyone.
Didn't take everybody. If you were for the idea, you got taken. If you were against the idea, you did not get taken on the tour. And they weren't told about it either. I mean, this was all done very clandestine.
And CBRE is also the one that created the report that said what the costs would be.
Correct.
But yet they're the ones that get paid when we relocate.
Everything on this happens.
And they get paid when the sales of the land happens too.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's a neutral third party to me.
No, and the initial reports that came out put the cost of renovation of around $100 million. And the most of the city council people were like, okay, well, it's $100 million. We're putting it into a 50-year-old building, and let's go ahead and do it. And then another report came out, and it was, we really meant it was $300 million. And this said, the people again were like, okay, well, you just got to dig a little deeper, and we're going to have to do it. And then the big report, the CBRE report, came out that showed $900 million to $1.4 billion
plus evacuation.
Well, that included relocation
Yeah.
costs while the City Hall was being restored. But when people started analyzing the report said that there were no structural issues with the building and that there was really no need to evacuate the building while it's being renovated.
Nor was it falling down. So I think that, with all that said, it's going to get really interesting because of the email drop.
Well, and these emails, it's interesting that
Because it just came live.
These just came to light this week. The information was originally requested by two writers with D Magazine.
Correct.
Through the Open Records Act. And when you file requests through the Open Records Act, the entity that you are requesting the information from tells you how much compiling that information would be. And so they told these reporters, okay, this is $248. And I guess they didn't expect the reporters to pay it. The reporters paid it. And then what they got was a letter from the city attorney saying, well, we're sending this over to the state attorney general to have them approve this through their open records. You know, we are supposed to have an answer sometime in May, but I'm not real sure I'm not sure that's going to happen, and I'm not even real sure it's relevant now.
Well, is it relevant? Because Councilmember Adam Balduza filed his own request and received two thumb drives with roughly 5,000 emails that just became public this week. And that is what you'll see Robert Wolanski. He is going to town. He is one of the writers for the Dallas Morning News, and he has done some excellent coverage. If you don't follow him, look for him on social media and read his articles. He really gets into the nitty-gritty, and he is also asking some really important questions about why these things are happening, why people are making these decisions. It really let's just hope that it goes to a vote for the public.
Well, you know, that would be what I would want, because we were talking earlier, and like that was when a council member named Angela Hunt, who finally pushed hard enough to get the Trinity River Tollway to go to a vote, and the residents turned it down.
But yes, thank God. But the craziest thing was, is even at the vote, to vote no, you had to vote yes.
Yeah.
Again, and then there's also the K-Bay Hutchinson Convention Center. Like that was a question. I came from San Antonio and saw how important it is to have tourism.
Yeah.
And here we are in Central Time Zone with two massive airports, and you don't want to have a huge destination.
Center. Yeah. I mean, you're really limited. We're still limited, even with the expansion. You know, we like the National Association of Realtors we're not large enough to host the National Association of Realtors.
Well, I didn't realize it. Well, anyway, digesting. Anyway, it's really important, I think, as Dallas residents, for us to stay involved with this. There's so many times right now, I think we've talked about this, how Citizens United has really changed the way elected officials behave. And rather than really working for the constituents that elected them into office, they're really working for the donation dollars of these massive groups.
I agree. It's
unfortunate.
Yes. Oh, you know, one of the things that was a little frustrating to me was I don't feel like this process started with what is best for Dallas and what is best for the citizens of Dallas.
Nope. It is best for what a very small, elite, well-funded individuals would like.
Yeah, we have several billionaires here in the Dallas area who are involved in this.
They're named. Robert names them.
Yeah, and you know, they have been throwing fundraisers for council people that are in support of this that are not in their district
At all.
and
Or taking them to Vegas for vacations.
It's
Lots of interesting facts.
so keep your eyes open on this. It's really this is going to become something very important to the city of Dallas, and I mean, I think we've made it real clear which side of the coin we fall on, but pay attention to it. Take the time to read the articles. Robert Wolanski's article that came out this week was it was a good 20-minute read, but well worth every minute of it.
And just remember, we want to be realtors for life.
Did you know there are a lot of ways you can keep up with us? For starters, every Wednesday at noon, we host Sold with Updike Pugh, live from our Facebook and YouTube channels. Our show is dedicated to featuring some of the best homes in the Dallas market and about sharing timely information about market trends. But don't worry if you miss the show, because you can always listen to them on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify.
Still want more? Follow us on Instagram, where you get a first-hand look at what it's like to be a realtor. And it's not always previewing homes for clients or getting them ready to go live in MLS. Lastly, visit our website and you'll be able to create a custom home search tailored specifically to your wants and needs that's timely and accurate. Whether it's square foot, location, or the neighborhood, we have you covered.
If you'd like to know how much your home is worth, we can help with that too. Just visit homeprice.fyi, enter a few pieces of information like your home address, and we'll email you a price. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be realtors for life.